Hey everyone, welcome back. I want to bring people's attention to something that I don't know a whole lot of you know that's going on in the NFL. The reason I looked at this and the reason I'm doing this is because user Lambda115, whose video I will link down below in the description, picked up on some interesting numbers that were repeating themselves throughout the course of this play in the Super Bowl, where Brandon Cooks was hit and knocked unconscious by Eagles defender Malcolm Jenkins. I only watched a handful of NFL games this season, but I saw a couple of these big-time hits where they were so much more severe than your standard NFL play. And I actually ran the numbers on a couple of these guys who got hit. And I started developing this theory that the NFL had hit plays where they were sending defenders after offensive players to injure them on purpose. And it's all arranged by the numbers. So in this video, I'm going to talk about two different hit plays, as I'm calling them. The first one occurred earlier this season in a Packers-Bears game, where Davante Adams was knocked out by this hit. And I mean, that's not a football play. That was an attempt to maim another human being. You know, there was nothing elementary about it. There was nothing fundamental about it. And then you had this play in the Super Bowl, where Brandon Cooks just got absolutely destroyed and knocked out. And the players react differently in these situations. You don't usually see a guy lunge directly after the guy who hit him because all of these guys know that this is part of the game, and they're all playing their role in it. They even send guys who wear specific numbers to stand next to the fallen. It's really disgusting. And I'm going to explain to you how this works. So first we're going to look at the play with Davante Adams, and we saw the play. Now, this occurred back on September 28th of 2017. The Bears and Packers were deadlocked in a 93-93 head-to-head tie since their rivalry began almost 100 years ago. So the winner of this game would get their 94th win over the other team. The date that this game was played left 94 days on the calendar. And Davante Adams, who got hit in the first clip that we briefly looked at, and these clips are linked below also. I don't want to show the whole things because copyrights. Anyways, Davante Adams was 9,044 days old when he got hit. Not only that, he was 9 months and 4 days after his last birthday. The player who hit him, Bears linebacker Danny Trevathan, his full name is Daniel Eugene Trevathan. And using the full reduction method, this sums to 94. If you're new to my channel, what we're looking at here is the language of Gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words. The most basic cipher is English ordinal. It numbers the letters 1 through 26, A, B, C, all the way through Z, 26. You can reverse the alphabetic order. And then we also reduce the orders. So J, the 10th letter, 1 plus 0 is 1. K, the 11th letter, 1 plus 1 is 2. L, the 12th, 1 plus 2 is 3, and so on. So in this method, his full name sums to 94. Davante Adams, 9 months, 4 days after his birthday, 94 days before the end of the year. Winner wins their 94th game over the other team. Definitely by the numbers there. But next, I want to mention this. So in killing rituals, the number 17 is very commonly used. This is found in the gematria of words like sacrifice, which is 170, ritual sacrifice is 107 reverse reduction. Using trigonal, which is the associated triangular numbers, ritual human sacrifice even sums to 1700. But what really stands out about this is that you have this prime number relationship right here. The word kill in reduction equals 17, and in Jewish gematria, which is based on the original Latin alphabetic order, with the letters that are exclusive to the English language placed at the end, 59 is the 17th prime number, and kill, as we just saw, equals 17 and 59. And Davante Adams wears number 17. Danny Trevathan wears number 59. Perfect. Also, Danny Trevathan, in reduction, his name sums to 59. And Trevathan is definitely connected to the inner gang, so to speak, of the NFL, whatever you want to call it. He had this play on national television back in 2013, the first game of the season, where he intentionally dropped the ball before he got into the end zone on a pick six. They called it a drop six. And what these are is these are public shaming rituals so that these men can improve their position with the guys who run the league. And then they get tapped for rituals like this where they can injure someone. The name Davante Adams in reduction sums to 33. And this is pretty interesting. If you measure between the birthday of Danny Trevathan, March 24th, 1990, we see right there, and you measure to Davante Adams' birthday, December 24th, 1992, it's exactly 33 months. These guys' birthdays, exactly 33 months apart. In the Kabbalah, Trevathan's full name sums to 303. And this is a cipher that uses every 11th letter in the alphabet. It's a pretty standard one, but not going to look too deep here. And Trevathan had just turned 330 months old before that game, like just earlier that week. So here he is at 330 months old, hitting a guy with a name gematria of 33, who he's 33 months apart from. And 33 is a number that's coded into these sacrifice rituals too, even these mock sacrifice rituals like ones that are occurring in the NFL. This slide should explain most of that. You know, ritual sacrifice, 148, 33, 148 in the Jewish order, 33, 895 in Jewish gematria, just like ritual human sacrifice, 895, it's all the same. In Masonry, the 33rd degree is the highest. Masonry sums to 33. Also notice how it's 105 using the alphabetic order. Davante Adams has this gematria as well. And Danny Trevathan, who was born March 24th, 1990, was exactly 10,050 days old on the date of this game. And 15, this is also a number that's associated with the beast. You know, the circle is the mark of the beast. It's the 15th letter. The devil, the 15th tarot card. So, and it reduces to 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. Definitely a big-time number. This game occurred on a date with a life lesson number of 47. Davante Adams has birth numerology of 47 and 147. In gematria, with the K exception, K is the 11th letter, 11 a master number. When it's not reduced, it sums to 47. And using prime numbers, the word killing sums to the 47th prime number. So let's just see this. Killing equals 211 in primes. That's the 47th prime number. 211, also the ordinal gematria of ritual human sacrifice. Again, whether or not the sacrifice is real or if it's a mock, they still code it similarly. And then check this out. Danny Trevathan, in the reverse alphabetical order, sums to 211. And his full name sums to 211 in the alphabetic order. You know, so these guys are paired. They're connected through numerology. Finally, killing in Sumerian gematria, the alphabetic order times 6. Killing equals 444. The 444th prime number is 3,119. And this guy's got that gematria using square numbers. Look at that. 3,119. That's the 444th prime. Davante Adams came into this game with 206 receiving yards. This is also a sacrifice number, 206. This is the Packers-Bears rivalry. Packers-Bears, 206 reverse. And Trevathan, who laid the hit on him, had some interesting birth numbers as well. He's got the 46, which is sacrifice, just like Packers-Bears, 46. And his birthday is the 83rd day of the year. That's the gematria of murder in the reverse order. All right, so clearly there's some connections. And I brought this up to my friends and I got called crazy, right? Well, I'd love for them to see this because, I mean, it was essentially the same thing, but even more clear, even more obvious, I feel. So the Super Bowl took place on a date with 17 and 44 numerology. The word kill, using English reduction, sums to 17, And using the full alphabetic order, where Z gets the 26, kill is 44. So you have these numbers matching in the date numerology. Well, in the Jewish order, let's just pop open Jewish ordinal so you can see what this looks like. The word kill has a value of 41 and 14, 14 reduced, and 41 ordinal. And if you watch the play, again, it's going to be linked below, you'll notice that the ball is snapped with 14 seconds on the play clock. The pass is then caught by Brandon Cooks, who wears number 14. He beats number 41 in man coverage, and the catch is made at the 41-yard line. And when he gets laid out, it's number 27 who hits him. And if you add up the two numbers in the collision, 14 and 27, it sums to 41. And 41 is the 13th prime number. There you see the 13. And of course, the Eagles finished the game with 41 points. I'll talk about that at the end. What Lambda also mentioned, and this is a brilliant discovery, is that this injury occurred during this man coverage play. You know, he beat his man, and it was another man that came from the side and hit him, or blindsided him. And in Gematria, man coverage equals 104, like 14. But in all three Kabbalah ciphers, this sums to 140. Look at this. Man coverage, no matter how you slice it, it's 140 in all three methods. So it's so interesting how they select these rituals and what's involved in them. You know, they got to give it to them sometimes. Another thing I want to point out is that when the ball was snapped, there were 2,591 seconds left in the game. This is going to sound obscure, but hear me out. 2591. Oops. Here, 2591 is the 377th prime number, and 377 is the 14th Fibonacci number. So all these 14 and 41s, just like the gematria of kill in Jewish. Another thing that's interesting about this time on the clock, it's 1311. So if you reduce that time, 1 plus 3 is 4, and then you wouldn't reduce the 11 because it's a master number. So you have a 411. In Jewish gematria, assassin sums to 411. When JFK was shot, the bullet supposedly came from 411 Elm Street. Christmas equals 411, and on Christmas Day, a couple years earlier, on Andy Griffith, they aired an episode talking about 411 Elm Street, where there was a bootlegging operation. The Kennedys, rich because of the bootlegging. I mean, this is pretty interesting. And then look at Malcolm Jenkins' age on the date of the play. He's the guy who hit Brandon Cooks and played the assassin. He was 11,004 days old, just like the word assassin reversed. You know, 114, the reflection 411. And if you measure from Brandon Cook's last birthday, 4 months, 11 days with the end date included. So what are the chances of this? You know, you got 1311 on the clock, which reduces to 411. Assassin 411. This man's 11,004 days old. Brandon Cooks is 4 months, 11 days after his birthday. There's no coincidence here. And then measuring to Brandon Cook's next birthday, you got 7 months and 22 days. 227, that's the number for the pi number. 22 divided by 7 in Gematria equals 314. If you divide 22 by 7, you get 3.14, the first three digits of pi. And using the reverse alphabetic order, Malcolm Jenkins equals 227, the inverse of 722. So you have an inverse here with their age, and then you have the inverse with their name and the duration of the birthday. It's wild. There's also some Freemasonry numbers in here. And Malcolm Jenkins, 227, that's just like ancient accepted Scottish rite of Freemasonry reverse reduction. In English ordinal, this full Freemasonry name sums to 448. Malcolm Jenkins has a 448 right there, English extended, where we amplify the numbers instead of reduce. And just the word Jenkins alone sums to 244. That's the Hebrew word for kill. So just coded to the teeth. And it even goes deeper. Looking at the Kabbalah, in the ALW and KFW ciphers. I call this primary and secondary Kabbalah Gematria. And this is all, again, straight from Wikipedia source. No one's making up any ciphers here. These are legit. But you got this 133 and 125 Gematria. Well, Brandon Cooks equals 125. And including the end date, he was 133 days after his birthday. That's the same as the 4 months, 11 days. Furthermore, he's got that 73 in reverse reduction. The word sacrifice, using the alphabetic order 73, ritual sacrifice 73 reduced. And that's not all. The word sacrifice, summing to 46 in reduction. In the Hebrew language, both kill and murder 46. Malcolm Jenkins, the guy who hit him, was 46 days after his 30th birthday. Brandon Cooks was even born on a date with 46 numerology, 9 plus 25 plus 9 plus 3. And think about how this man was born in the year 93. We see right here, September 25th, 93. The score in the game was 9-3 at the time. The word murder sums to 93 in that same Kabbalah cipher as we saw before, ALW. And the 46th prime number, that's 199, as we see right there. 46th prime, 199, and that's Brandon Cooks using the reverse alphabetic order. And the real kicker here is right after Cooks got hit, one of his teammates stood over him for a second, and look at this. It's number 46. I mean, it's disgusting, really, when you think about it. This guy, he doesn't know if this guy's all right, if his buddy just got paralyzed. He goes over, he just stands over him for a second. He doesn't check on him. He just unbuckles his chin strap and walks away. This man was told to stand over him, and it's so obvious once you see the numbers. Can you believe this shit? It's just so gross. The last thing, too, I want to mention regarding this hit, when you measure between the birthdays of Brandon Cooks and Malcolm Jenkins, Brandon Cooks 9/25/93, Malcolm Jenkins 12/20/1987, it comes out to 300 weeks and 6 days. You drop the zeros, you get a 36. This relates to 666, since that's the 36th triangular number. If you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, you get 216. And if you convert this from weeks to days, you get 2106. And Malcolm Jenkins has a 216 in his birth numerology, too. And it's wild, too. They showed the highlight, and I don't know if this was intentional by the crew or not, but Tom Brady had faked a handoff to number 33 on the play. The 33rd prime number is 137. When Brandon Cooks caught the ball, there was 13:07 on the clock, like exactly. And this wound up being the final score of the game right here. So I don't know, like I said, if that was intentional, if that's something the network did on purpose, but absolutely this play was set up, and it's just the question of, did Brandon Cooks know it was coming? I guess not. So it's interesting. We know the games are scripted, that they're rigged, and it's all done by the numbers, but to what degree are the players in on it? I mean, they all are to some degree, but then you got plays like this where it certainly didn't look like this guy knew he was getting hit. So I don't know. Leave me your thoughts in the comments below and tell me what you think. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, Truth Seekers. God bless.